So my name is Vaughn. I'm in Greenville, South Carolina. I am the CEO of a real estate investment firm. We've been doing that for about 5.5 years. And in that time, I actually do a lot of coaching for real estate investment business owners. And one of my coaching clients had recommended Taylor. Building a business is very stressful at times. You can get a lot of anxiety. But I've always put everybody else first. It can take a toll on you. It can definitely take a toll on your body as well. So I was at a point where I'd been the heaviest I have been in my life. This coming from a former Division I and professional soccer player, was pretty lean, fit, 5% body fat when he was playing in college. And that had changed significantly. So finally, I decided to heed my first mentor's advice and start putting myself first. And I knew that when I got better, everything else would get better. I finally got fed up and decided that, hey, I needed to make a change. First thing is like when I was in the fitness business, even though I was in the gym all day long, that's your job. And the time that people want to work out is before work, after work, and at lunchtime, which is also times that I should be spending with my family. The times I was at home on the weekends and evenings and on Sundays, I still wasn't present because all I wanted to do was veg out. So that's when I, got to the point where I started gaining weight, starting to cause health issues as well. And I almost ended up in the hospital. Stress, panic attacks, things such as that. I was going to open up a whole life insurance policy, cash value life insurance policy, and sat down with my wealth advisor. And where I was as far as my weight and health at the time, the qualification or the tier that I would have got approved for was like standard, right? And he was like, well, that's going to end up costing you more money. You'll still be able to put money away, but because of the life insurance is going to be coming out of that policy, you won't have as much to invest as if you can get to more of a preferred or premium tier. And so, there's like, well, what's causing me from or keeping me from getting to that preferred tier at least? And it was like your BMI, right? And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm the heaviest I've been. I need to make a change. So that was kind of another, punch in the throat, eye opener, that something has to change. And I already knew something needed to change at the time. So, but I finally decided to do something about it. And that's when I hired Taylor. And it's been probably the best decision I've made in the last 5 years. For the last, let's say 7 years, it's been off and on, right? I'll start for a little while and, I might even have a buddy come work out with me and then, they'll fall off the wagon or I'll fall off the wagon or come up with an excuse. And then nutrition, I might go for a few weeks and then fall off again. And I just didn't have that accountability partner, right? And in anything, like I said, in coaching, accountability is huge. So even though I have 15 years of experience in the world of fitness and wellness and nutrition, I know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, but I need somebody holding me accountable to make sure I'm doing it right. And somebody that I can meet with on a weekly basis, somebody that's looking at, the app when I'm weighing in and looking at the food that I'm eating. And, just knowing that somebody's doing that helps you make better decisions. And it's not just because, hey, I don't want to let somebody else down, but it makes you more aware of what you're doing. I wanted him to hold me accountable to being consistent because I know consistency leads to routine. Here we are 4 or 5 months into this now. I have a routine that's completely different than it was 5 months ago. Told him when they get at the get-go, I said, I just need accountability, not knowing all the extra stuff that would come from that, right? And his level of knowledge, even with just, I love his approach of the fact that, hey, here's a plan, go do it, is, hey, let's talk about everything. I want to know everything about you, your lifestyle, what you're doing, your home life, your eating, your schedule, because I want to make this as convenient as possible for you to stick to. Because when you tell somebody to go from one extreme to the next, that's when it's not sustainable. And he was able to create these little baby steps and based on where I was, meet me where I am, and then slowly create those habits and routine through consistency over time. He's freaking awesome. Yeah, he's always there. He's holding me accountable. He's knowledgeable. Great guy, by the way. And yeah, I think he's definitely somebody that I can call a friend now. We have a lot of good quality conversations, and he's doing what he should be doing. I think this is definitely his calling. So since working, starting with Taylor, and I think, like I said, I think it's been about 4 months now, maybe a little bit over 4 months. I've dropped over 30 pounds. So 32 pounds as of this morning, down 32 pounds, which is actually almost 40 pounds from where I started last year. A lot more energy, a lot more productive when I'm at work, a lot more present when I'm at home, doing more activities with the kids. And it's funny because last night, we always talk about, hey, yeah, my son's 12, my daughter's 15, and I was like, hey, when your dad and your mom got together, your dad was hot stuff. I had abs and all this stuff, and yeah, I'm a former athlete. And last night we went out to dinner, and my son and my daughter was saying, "Son, Dad, you've been losing some weight." And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "My abs are starting to come back," and I lifted up my shirt, and my son did that. He goes, "What?" He goes, "Dad's got abs." I was like, "I told you they were just hiding under that layer of fat." And my daughter was like, "Whoa, this is a whole new Vaughn." Yeah, I'm known in the real estate world now, but just in general, good, solid business owners like CEO, right? A reputable CEO. But I also, in my previous life, I was known as an athlete, professional athlete. And he said, wouldn't it be great to be known as the athlete CEO, or has it both a CEO and athlete? And so that was the goal we set, is like to get to a point where when people look at me today, it's not just, hey, he's an awesome business owner. It's like, hey, he's a fit, athletic business owner. So being able to get back to that point where I see people now that haven't seen me in 3 or 4 months are like, man, you looking good. And even my staff was like, you've been lifting, your biceps are looking pretty big. And I was like, noticing in the mirror, I'm starting to get that athletic look back, which is good. When I put myself first, and the fact that when I get better, everything else around me would get better. And that's relationships, that's family, that's, just how I feel. Business has gotten better because I'm more productive and I think clearer. When you feel like you're out of shape and you're not healthy and whatnot, your confidence drops. Whether you're thinking about it or not. I look back at some speaking on stage a couple years ago, and I was like, oh man, I was a little heavy. And I was like, yeah, you start thinking about how people portray you. And I know I had a lot of feedback from that presentation. The business principles in the presentation was amazing, right? But I want to be able to look up there and them look up there and say, well, that dude's, not only is he killing in business, he's killing it in life. First class experience. Let's do that. I've already told people. I think I've referred them at least 3 people over the last couple of weeks, and I said, don't even think about it, just do it. You got to be willing to commit. If you're not willing to commit, don't call them. But if you're going to call them, just do it. I'm living proof. It works as long as you're willing to do the work. Taylor, bro, man, appreciate you. You've been a game changer for my life, and I'm looking forward to continue to working with you. I know it's going to be continue to change the trajectory of my life, and also not just my life, but through you, be able to have a major impact on other people.